Ladies and gentlemen, whether you like it or not.
And that's just from the one film. It's called Apaches, and I'm so gonna review it. And that's just the one film. It's called Apaches, and I'm so gonna review it. And
Why are
that's
you saying it like that?
it. I don't know.
Like the clown.
It's
not et. Like
pronunciation. This is exactly the sort of kid we usually try to restrict to the Twilight Zone. Okay.
You know what he's basically doing?
Hmm?
He basically created Frogger. So he's not really a psychopath, because he's not I guess technically he is. The film is him visually imagining everyone dying, but it's the kind of thing that that's basically Frogger.
I should add a bit during the bit where they have to run across the tracks that is comparing it to Frogger.
I think after that, now I'm gonna put a big star and say Frogger.
He's like
no, but see, here's the thing. What the fuck is wrong with you guys on these aisles? Because the first time I saw him in something, I think it was something that you sent me, and I'm like, holy shit, that guy looks like a child molester.
Oh, it was probably
he's famous. I'm like, this is the most child molester that ever missed.
That was probably fixed with Santarans.
Maybe, and then everyone was like, oh, it turns out Jimmy Savile was a child molester. I'm like, you should have asked someone outside your islands, because obviously, look at the motherfucker. He is the creepiest creeperton. Is there no one in Great Britain that was not raped by Jimmy Savile? No. Even the Queen. And see, it's the thing, is he's made it so bad for the legacy of Fred Rogers, who legit was all of the wonderful things that everyone thought Jimmy Savile was.
No one thought Jimmy Savile was wonderful. That's the thing.
Why did you have this collective delusion pretending that he was some kind of hero?
We didn't. At least that's not how I remember it. We always thought but my generation always thought he was just this, ridiculous, weird old guy.
Okay, fine. Fred Rogers was legit a saint.
Yeah, I imagine the kids who whenever he was fairly young doing Kids TV, and the kids then, they possibly had some sort of a skewed idea of him. But every other generation thought he was a weirdo.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Another fun game of Blood Red Rover. I think we have one there.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm too busy having PTSD flashbacks all the time I had to play Red Rover as a child.
I deliberately did a Red Rover because Americans would understand it, because we called it Bulldogs.
Because I was a head shorter than everybody else, so when it was my turn, I just ended up running into a clothesline directly to my larynx, falling down on the ground, unable to breathe for a few minutes, rolling around in agony while the teacher's like, are you okay? Are you okay? Breathe. I can't breathe, Karen. My whole entire esophagus is crumpled.
Blood Red Rover is a good pun, though.
It is a good pun. Hagen, this is the closest thing to a movie adaptation. Closest thing to a movie adaptation of Let's Game It Out, playing a train sim. Yeah, he probably would. This
is the closest thing we're ever likely to get to a movie adaptation of Let's Game It Out, playing a train sim.
Did you have fun? I know they didn't. Hagen, it's just a really weird fucking, in quotes, choice. And yes,
fucking. Because it's making a pun on Julius Fukic, whose name is spelled Fukic. So I'm making a joke about a composer's surname.
I just thought you spelled it wrong because
that's why I wrote.
You spelled Britain wrong.
I know, but on the other side, that's why I put beside it. Fucking, fucking.
You have to pronounce it so.
It's just a really weird fucking choice. Because they use the clown music over the kids dying, and I'm like, that is just a weird choice. Most films wouldn't think about using the clown theme from the circus over that.
A child would. Because to children, death isn't real.
It's possible, although I think it's probably more likely because it's being used in its non-circus context, because it did originally start as a military march. It was just the circus adapted it for the clowns. It is really surreal fact, but that is the truth. It's called Entrance of the Gladiators.
Now I'm just imagining, the French and, British, facing off. Redcoats and, when the French still wore those ridiculous outfits. and then there's like a calliope's, like, you know, and, like, you know how they'll have like a military band off to the side, but like, and then you hear like, you know, and then like, do you hear that? The Frenchies are blowing the retreat. Quickly, men, press them. All the way back to the big tent.
Yeah, it would be historically accurate or historically apt in a film to portray the band marching impressively, you know, something, while playing the fucking clown music.
It's fantastic.
Anyway, like he said, the finishing line was pulled from circulation after only 2 years. I can't think why. Perhaps it's a subtle message of... Do we have one there, do you think?
Do not do these incredibly fun-looking things for depicting or receiving prizes and adulation. That's true. And adulation is a...
Wasn't quite getting through.
No.
Think of it like a competitive trolley problem.
It's just a thought experiment, bro.
I will Roko's basilisk you into next week.
I need to Google that.
Don't. Oh, that's a good one. Roko's basilisk is considered by idiots to be the most horrifying thought experiment, and once you know about it, you are damned by technological devil, the basilisk itself. I will explain this. Okay, this is a dumb idea someone came up with. Basically, that in the future there is going to be a giant supercomputer whose purpose is to make humans happy.
That'd
okay?
be great.
And this thing, okay, so in its infinite logic, it will decide that what it needs to do is to create simulations of past humans who have existed, perfect simulations, and discover who aided in its creation, because its point is the most important thing in history, is to make humans happy. And if you did not directly aid in its creation, you need to suffer. So,
I feel like
so if you hear about Roko's basilisk and
though.
you don't help Roko's basilisk exist, it will create a version of you in a simulation and torture you forever for not helping it.
Well, I pay my taxes, and obviously public money will come into it at some point. So.
Well, this is.
That's ridiculous.
It is. It
True,
is.
Your scat is so much better.
It is. There is.
Why?
This was
had the capacity to keep people happy. Why would it be like, but only people I like?
This future, there's at least one.
They need to put the 3 laws of robotics in that motherfucker.
There was at least one futurism-ish, forum which actually banned discussion of it because it was creating existential crisis in the tech bros.
It's stupid. What's wrong with
is.
you? This is for crypto coin people, isn't it?
It is stupid. It is very stupid.
This is for people who believe in Jordan Peterson.
Probably.
Ridiculous. Oh, people who talk. I mean, and here's the thing. Like, just so many people on the internet talk too much shit about things they don't know. And I'm always so careful to be like, now here's the thing. I'm only partially. You should probably talk to an expert, but here's my opinion. Then people are like, oh, if you don't help a theoretical supercomputer, you're gonna die in agony. And everyone's like, sounds plausible. Like, oh, I'm an atheist because I'm a rationalist. I don't believe in any of those stupid, religion fairy tales. Oh no, supercomputer.
It's basically the devil and / maltheistic god created by tech bros.
I'm a computer. Stop all the downloading.
Think of it as a competitive trolley problem.
It's just a thought experiment, bro.
Yeah, well, that's what they said about Roko's basilisk too. And then I made it.
It sounds like a reference I should probably know. I'm gonna go Google it.
You won't need to, son.
And then 3 people will be like, I understand the reference so hard.